So, this is not a Muslim ban based on religion, as the state of Hawaii had argued. This is a ban on terrorists. This is a travel ban affecting a small number of countries that are hotbeds of terrorism. A win for keeping this country safe. A win for the president, yes, and a win for the Constitution. Joining me now on the Daily Ledger Page 5 beat from Baltimore, Maryland, senior editor for Conservative Review, Daniel Horowitz. Daniel, indeed a victory for the United States Constitution and this notion of plenary power, which is what the president was simply trying to execute. And frankly, if the court had sided the other way, in favor of Hawaii, I think this would have been a major blow to the entire concept of separation of powers.
Exactly. I don't mean to throw cold water on this victory, but it was a very important victory in terms of being a defensive victory. I don't see how it could have gone any less bold than it was. Obviously, Clarence Thomas and his concurrence was even stronger. There really are no limitations whatsoever. Think about it. This statute, 1182, which gives the president the at-will authority to shut down any form of immigration when he determines it's not just national security, but in the national interest. It took 16 months and dozens of lower court judges ruling the other way, 4 Supreme Court justices the other way, to affirm the plain definition of a statute. That should really disturb people, because here's the deal. As we're talking, 18 state attorneys general are already suing Trump's border policies. And the point is, this victory needs to be taken to the next level, not to sit on our laurels and say, hey, we won this issue, but to now go on offense and rebuke the lower courts. Congress needs to take away their jurisdiction to adjudicate these cases. Otherwise, they're going to win death by 1,000 cuts.
But to expand on my point, and you know very much, you wrote a book about lower courts and what the Congress should do about them, and that's essentially overhaul them. Hopefully they've read the book. I don't know that they have. But the bottom line is this. It would be nice if the Supreme Court would come out and say, you know what? We're going to read the Constitution for what it is. Article 1 and Article 2 are involved here. Article 3 shouldn't even be involved in this process. The lower courts shouldn't be involved in immigration. I read immigration in Article 1, and then Congress passing the Article 1 laws on immigration. And then the process is the president then takes the mantle and enforces those laws best he knows how.
Exactly. And let's not forget, we're not talking about deportation of those already here. We're talking about denial of entry to those who are never here.
Right.
That is not only included in his delegated authority from Congress, but in his inherent Article 2 powers over foreign commerce. The courts have said this a number of times. I was a little disappointed that Roberts at least entertained the idea of giving them Article 3 standing to sue. He said it has no merit. I would have rather he blatantly shut down this notion that you could sue in such a case, that a relative could sue on behalf of someone else. But Graham, there's an important point to be made here. Sotomayor in her dissent was invoking Korematsu, the internment of the Japanese.
Yes.
Do you understand that the dissenting opinion in that case was written by none other than Robert Jackson, the lead prosecutor in Nuremberg and champion of due process? That very same man said, A, the Constitution is not a suicide pact, and B, he wrote an opinion a decade later saying that due process does not give anyone the right to enter nor remain in the country as an alien against the national will.
We should also point out that it involved many U.S. citizens. And in this case, there are no U.S. citizens involved. And clearly, when you step back and you look at the big picture here, Daniel, all I can say is thank God for Gorsuch and the pick by President Trump to put him on the United States Supreme Court, because clearly he's having an impact, a positive constitutional impact on the decisions that we are seeing. Daniel, thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.